In today's video, I want to cover two simple, actionable steps that you can implement into your regular schedule in order to grow your clientele, increase your income, and keep your business moving to the point that you want to see it at long term. Now, before we get into these two tips, I'm going to share with you the background as to what inspired me to start doing these things regularly, because at one point I didn't do them at all and I suffered the consequences as a byproduct. You see, if you've been in the personal training industry for any length of time, then you recognize immediately how volatile a client's schedule can actually be. One week you have 40 sessions, the next you have 22, then all of a sudden you have 60 and you don't have room for anyone else. So you say no to 2 people and then a month later you wish you had said yes because 3 others just left your sessions. It can be overwhelming, it can be incredibly stressful, and there's a few things you can do. You can quit because it's too volatile and it doesn't allow you to lead a lifestyle with any sort of safety or security. You can get another job in order to supplement your income. You can be patient and try your best to ride the waves of the volatility, or you can start taking action today in order to make sure your pipelines are consistently full so you don't have the same stress as to whether or not you're going to have some level of consistency on a week-to-week basis as a professional. To give you a little bit of a backstory, I started out my personal training career as a freelance trainer. I just kind of did sessions here and there as I was in school and between other jobs and what may be. But shortly into my career, I was actually offered a position at a boutique gym locally that provided me with about 10 to 15 regular sessions right off the bat because another trainer was transitioning out of the studio and moving out of town. So this was a great opportunity to get my foot in the door as a true fitness professional. So I took the opportunity, and from there I worked my ass off and built up my clientele. Now, there was no rhyme or reason to how I actually got clients at the time. I tried all sorts of different approaches, and over time I learned which things actually worked and contributed to the growth of my client roster, if you will. But I got some clients from the owner, I got some clients from referrals, I found some people randomly through social media, I had other clients just walk in off the street. Little by little, my clientele grew to the point where I had about 30 or 35 regular appointments on a weekly basis, and I felt great. So I kicked my feet up on the table and said, there we go. I'm a successful coach now. Now I'm gonna focus on learning more and more and more, and all will be well. Boy, was I wrong. My first summer came around and my clientele, I'm pretty sure, literally halved, like 50% gone. I've talked to a lot of coaches, and I'm sure if you've survived one of your first summers or second or third, you've literally, pun intended, felt the heat of the summer when it comes to clients taking time off because the weather is nice, clients wanting to do more outdoor activities and less personal training. Your 3 session a week people sometimes drop down to 2 and your 2 down to 1, and some people go on vacation for 3 or 4 weeks, and next thing you know, you go from 35 sessions to 15 to 20, and those are desperation sessions where you're like, hey, can you do 2 sessions with me? I'll sign you for 2 instead of a package of 36 or what may be. Needless to say, I was stressed. I was frustrated, I was overwhelmed, I didn't know what to do because my gut, I received a gut punch basically relative to my pride and my paycheck, but my bills still needed to be paid. I still needed to pay for gas and food and rent and insurance, and all of these things still needed to be paid for, and I didn't have the income for it. So I learned 2 very powerful lessons at this point. The first lesson was simple. You always have to keep pedaling. What does that mean? Well, pedaling in terms of business, sure, growing your business, and literally a reference to riding a bicycle, because that's kind of what business is like. If you take your feet off the pedals and you coast and you're riding a bicycle, you will lose momentum and you will either stop completely or you will topple off of the bike at some point. The same goes for business. See, I had the mentality, I was young, I was naive, and I had never had that many sessions on my book before, that I literally thought I could take a break. And this isn't the case. Because what happened was I stopped my momentum dead in its tracks and I toppled off the bike. Half of my clients left for the summer. Now, sure, a lot of them came back after, but that still wasn't a fun summer. I learned very quickly that in business, you're either growing or you're shrinking. There is no holding ground. You might think you're holding ground because things seem okay, but behind the scenes, it's inevitable that soon you will feel the pressure of regression. So, knowing as much, you always have to continue moving forward and growing your business in some capacity. Whether that's you continuing to learn about business, keeping your pipelines full as a coach, finding ways to offer more services outside of your one-on-one clientele. There's many things you can be doing, but you do have to continuously focus on growth in some form or fashion. The second lesson I learned, simple. Always spend time working on your business. Don't get trapped only working in your business. Yes, it sounds like a game of semantics, but it's very important. So many coaches get caught up in the trap of only working in their business. Sessions all day, sessions all night, sessions on the weekends, sessions, but they forget to spend time working on their business, learning more about marketing and sales and hiring and growing, and they don't spend time on the business aspect as much as they spend time doubling down on being great coaches. And part of being a great coach is understanding business and working on your business as well. So it's important to regularly schedule time to not only work in your business, but to make sure that even if it's a little bit of time at the beginning, you're also slowly working on your business. This is crucial. These two lessons led to two simple, actionable steps that you can literally start doing today in order to increase your income, get more clients into your schedule, and grow your business to the desired level. The first actionable step is to network daily. Social media makes this so easy for you. Schedule in 15 minutes every single day. I want you right now, take 2 minutes, put it in your calendar in a space that's always open. Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. until 6:15, you know it's open. Schedule it. That's your networking time now. Or 1 to 1:30 every single day in the afternoon. That's your networking time, whatever it may be. And pick an amount of time that you can commit to confidently. Even if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, it does not need to be 5 hours a day. And what you're going to do is you're going to make sure in those 15 minutes or however much time you choose at the beginning, you block that time off, and that is spent for networking and networking only. In this time, you make calls, you send DMs on Instagram, you send Facebook messages, you contact people on LinkedIn, you respond to emails, whatever it is that you might do, all of it preferably, you're going to do in that 15 minutes every single day. Do you realize how many Instagram conversations you can start in 15 minutes? Do you realize how many emails you can send? You can even get more than one phone call done in 15 minutes if you're really good. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to people, rekindle old relationships, start new ones. And it doesn't have to be salesy. You don't need to call people and say, I've got this new package and I want you to sign up. You don't have to send someone a Facebook message and say, hey, I'm a personal trainer. Can you sign up with me right now? It's not about that. I mean genuine relationships. I want you to reach out to people and congratulate them on the promotion that they just received. Message somebody on Facebook and let them know that you haven't seen them in 5 or 6 years since high school and you'd love to go for coffee and just catch up. It's literally that simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. It's basic human relationships. This is so crucial. So I literally want you every single day, 10 or 15 minutes, network. If you can commit to more, that's great. You might need to commit to more right now because maybe your business is so far off where you would like to see it. But what's going to matter most is putting forth that consistent effort towards networking with other individuals and pursuing all avenues. Any social media platform you're on is a great way to interact. Comment on people's posts. Reach out to them, congratulate them, reconnect with them, email them, call them, go to the local coffee shop, talk to people for 15 minutes. There are endless opportunities for you out there, but regardless, actionable step number 1, 10 to 15 minutes a day of regular networking, and grow that as you see fit, pun intended, in order to continue to grow your business. The second actionable step you need to start taking regularly in your business, although not as regularly as daily, is to ask for referrals from your current clients. Now I know it's scary, it's making you cringe and quiver inside, and it makes you feel uncomfortable to ask for referrals, but let me clarify. Never have I met a client who didn't realize that referrals was the lifeblood of our business, of our industry. In fact, it's the case for many industries. And further, I've never come across a client who has been offended by me asking if they happen to know anyone that could benefit from our services. Never once. No exaggeration. Never once for either of those. So, What's important is that you reach out regularly, because if people don't hear you asking, they're going to assume that all is well. Your business is growing fine and you don't need any of their assistance. But if you reach out regularly, people will recognize that you're looking for more clients and they'll be more likely to bring them to you. Never are you going to have clients, well you might, but very rarely are you going to have clients that are going to be running up to you every Monday with a full list of new leads for you to call on their behalf, because they've met all these people and they're all going to benefit from what you have to offer. But if you ask on a consistent basis, people will be thinking about it. People will be at that next event and they'll think, oh, that person just mentioned they wanted to lose 10 pounds. I know the person for them. I'm going to make sure to connect these two together. Or further, they're going to be at a family reunion and someone mentions they have a wedding coming up and they'd really like to fit into their dress, or somebody has a sport that they'd like to get stronger for. And now you're going to remain top of mind. So the question becomes, how frequently do you ask? And this can be a touchy subject, and it's something you kind of have to figure out in your own business, but my suggestion is simple. 4 to 5 weeks if you're really looking to build out your clientele, if you have a big gap from where you are to where you want to be. The reality is that new relationships are developed, people bump into old friends, people go to family reunions and end up talking about how well they're doing. Their physique changes in 4 or 5 weeks, which gathers more attention and people ask more questions. In 4 to 5 weeks, people can very quickly develop a lot more referrals for you if need be. Furthermore, if your business is already close to where it needs to be, or if you've asked someone quite a few times already, backing off, 3 to 4 months, asking is usually a safe place to be. So if someone's already brought you 10 referrals and you only need 1 or 2 more, maybe asking them so much is not the greatest plan. But again, that's for you to figure out. You know your clients best, you know their personalities, you know if you're turning them off by asking them too frequently. And of course too, it's relative to where your business is at and where you want it to be. If you need 40 appointments a week and you're at 38, barraging people constantly probably isn't something you need to do at that point. But you do need to ask regularly for referrals so that your clientele can continue to grow and your business as a byproduct can continue to grow as well. So again, just as I requested that you schedule in that time to network regularly, put a reminder in your calendar to ask for referrals. Maybe right now it has to be in your calendar every 5th week, maybe every 4th month. It's up to you, but put it in as a regular task to complete. So to recap, 2 simple actionable steps that you can start right now. Daily networking, even if only for a few minutes a day, start doing it. Put it in your calendar, book it as an appointment with yourself. And secondly, making sure that you consistently ask for referrals. If you can start doing those 2 things today, not tomorrow, start them today when you have a few free minutes, I can assure you that your business is going to start to grow and you're going to start to get new clients much faster than you could have ever imagined. If you've made it this far in the video and these are 2 simple actionable steps that you plan on incorporating into your own business starting today, make sure you smash that like button and of course subscribe for more content. If there's anything I can help you with in terms of business development and growth, sales, marketing, gym ownership, personal training, client relations, you name it, if it's related to fitness and business, comment below on how I can help. And of course, make sure you follow me on Instagram as well, because I regularly post content about the day in the life goings on as a gym owner, as a personal trainer who is in the trenches with you.